begin.
Welcome to The Contradiction of myself, Byron McDonald and Lethea McCann. As I say each week, Facebook is a private-owned interface. So if you do get logged off, just hop back onto the page and you'll find it. Jokes aside. Welcome to The Contradictions, guys, with myself, Byron McDonald and Lethea McCann. As I say each week, Facebook is a private-owned interface. So if you do get logged off, just hop back onto this page and you'll find a new link there. And we're also multi-streaming on various platforms. So comment and
engage.
Hey, listen up. If you're lucky enough to fall in love with someone, I love you. Try not to ruin it by Googling them. Okay.
The Contradiction with Lethea McCann and Byron McDonald.
Just to make sure you don't forget what we look like.
So as I say each week, The Contradiction is about bringing different viewpoints together and allowing you, the viewer, the opportunity to comment and engage and share your viewpoint on the topic. So each week we get a new guest host, but this week we don't.
like last week and like the week before
and the past few other weeks.
But that's because we've been sick, man. Come on, stop being toxic. No pun intended. Anyway, we
just like to send greetings to Sharon Mitchell.
And Sharon, she said, okay, hello Sharon, how are you doing? And hello everyone else. I don't know, we tag Nadine January, get on here. You need to give your comment anyway. So Sharon said, I hope I can make the whole hour with you guys. 2 days at the snow is tiring. Ooh. Sharon, jy lê nie kwy, jy comment, moenie toxic visie, bring out your healthy traits and help us. And I, Eloise, hope you're beautiful. Helga, ek weet wie jy is, moenie vir jou wegsteekie, Helga. I know who you are. There's a relation through your Sloffy and you, Helga. So anyway, jokes aside, I've been doing okay now. I think I do still have my lingering cough and of course my other sicknesses. Anyway, jokes aside, how have you been? Tell people
I've been well.
She's excited. She's going back to work tomorrow. She's mind is set for work. She's been missing work. She's been missing.
Yeah, I mean, being with you for all that time, that's the Catalan one. I'm kidding. No, I'm recovered. Still here and there. I think we still experience those after fatigue symptoms, but that comes with it, I suppose.
Exactly.
And I just have to get back to the gym and get back into boosting up my energy. So I'm looking forward to that, definitely.
Anyway, so she's gonna go back to gym. So we gesê het ons the Gatsby geëet vandag like a proper couple. We were sitting and we were looking for Gatsby place, and every time we came to a Gatsby
I
place
was
on a
ready to
Sunday,
cook today. I was like,
on a Sunday, how do you believe
I
you go eat a Gatsby on a Sunday? How toxic is that for your
Okay.
body? I'm gonna try to see how many times I can use the word toxic today.
how can you count?
But anyway, but jokes aside, we had our time. We went to go have our space and go sit and chat. And mag maar net oor Gatsby gevisit, but we enjoyed it. On a Sunday lunch, Lithia. Supposed to be my future wife.
You also, the kitchen is available for you to use as you please. If I want to take a break, there is you are open to using it, but you don't want to use the damn kitchen.
Yeah, but Sharon actually asked where to buy the Gatsby. Where did you buy the Gatsby? So we first stopped in Bella, right? So we came out to Brackenfell because we spent the weekend there with my daughter and my auntie. There, it was nice, a nice weekend actually to get away. So what we did is we first went to Bella, and then the place just closed as we got there, and then we drove to Parow, and that place was also closed. Then we went to Cravenby. Then we said, but because we're from the northern suburbs and we know there's so-called good Gatsby places in the southern suburbs, they make the most of it.
I was really so fair.
And then we didn't want to drive that far. We wanted to stick in the northern suburbs. So Flambos, what?
Yeah, that's the only place it was open.
It was open. But tell you one thing. So we bought 2 half Gatsby's because we couldn't decide, and we wanted chicken and we wanted masala steak. So what we did is we then bought 2 half Gatsby's and we went to go park off in Parow where she used to live. And we just enjoyed it. It was lekker. It was filling compared to what we have. We're not going to name and shame that place on here. Maybe we should do the Gama fisheries. Don't go there. Anyway, you can sue me. I'll get pictures, Steve. But I clean a bit of chips and goed wat op. I don't like people to not give me good food. Anyway, let me not waste time. That's a Gatsby story. But I hope you guys are wonderful. And the topic that we came in, I know, drum roll, can a relationship change from toxic to healthy? Lithia, your opinion.
I'm addicted to you.
And your
know
opinion.
that you're toxic. Some people are addicted to toxicness, eh? So can a relationship change from toxic to healthy? Woo!
Come. Oh, Javiti. Man, that toxic dat jy begin hakkel hierso.
As jy toxic, do you believe you're toxic?
No, come. I asked you your opinion. Ek het nie meer gevra wat
Moet ek nou vir jou toxic traits hier uit hier op die tafel kom sit?
If that's the way you want to explain stuff, then you have to go and do that also.
Let's first start with what do you classify or define as a toxic relationship?
Oh.
If please viewers go ahead, comment your thoughts and your perspective. What is a toxic relationship to you? And do you think that a toxic relationship can become healthy? Can it change to a healthy relationship? So please go ahead and comment, and don't forget to like and share so that we can
reach more people during this conversation also. Exactly. And they can give their input. When so weet as klomp toxic mense buite wat sê hulle is gesond, hulle is healthy, and yeah, the other person is toxic. So I want to have that vibe going tonight. I want to feel it like Lithia, she's toxic. I just wanted to put that out there today. Tomorrow and the day thereafter.
As jy toxic gewees is, sal jy lank laat ek
Kankels al vir jou. Like in my chemo.
I would have stressed you out so much that the stress would have killed you.
On my chemotherapy, they say you need the toxicity to kill the germs in your body. To krijg my it's like my extra chemotherapy. I'm just joking. Anyway, but please do comment at the bottom. No, you can't go from toxic to healthy. And if you want the explanation, you can give it. Oh yes, ek wil net sien hoeveel mense dink because some people don't like to give an explanation to it. Yeah. They would just say no or yes, please. If you want to give an explanation, do give, because we know you're not on the show to make yourself vocal. And if you want to describe it, we're gonna read it out and we will give our opinion on it. Many also professionals, even ons altyd is toxic. Sy sê bietjie meer toxic as my.
Okay. What do you think is my toxic traits then?
Listen here. Remember my first question I asked her, Lithia, what's your opinion on this? Sy nog nie aangekom nie. How toxic is that? But anyway, let's go quickly to some comments.
So
where did you buy the Gatsby's?
So the young says, only God can really change someone who wants to change.
I think you have an answer for that one. Laat ons 'n bietjie hoor. Okay. So my opinion, my opinion on this one is only God can really change someone who wants to change. yes, I get you fair enough. If you and your partner decide to grow up on God's values, on whatever religion you are, on that principles and that values, then yes, then you're taking into acceptance that this is how we should look at life. But now imagine your partner's an atheist and you a religious person, but you've decided to be together. You've accepted. That's the key. Listen to that key word that's going to be in the conversation today. Acceptance. So you've accepted to be with this person, but in the end of the day, he doesn't have the same principles and values that you raised out of a Christian or Muslim or Hindu or Jew or whatever say yourself or Noom family. He has his own way of looking at life. He learns out of life experiences. So now the question must be asked, in your intimate relationship, in your partner relationship, even with the family member. Remember, it's not just your lover, your mother. Some people don't even talk to their mothers anymore. Your father. Some people don't talk to their fathers, like siblings, friends, or whatever. So you need to take in consideration. Yes, you put God, but that person does not maybe have the same values, but you love that person in your life because of the other traits. Now, for me, you need to decide, what will I compromise? What will I accept? And I need to also take accountability for accepting those things and going on to it. Because a lot of people, what they do in the end of the day is shift blame, when this is why I don't believe in toxicity. Let me put it like this. And yes, toxicity does exist, but I don't believe to shift toxicity to the other person, because that acceptance, again, when I use that word, that key word, acceptance, you accepted that person to treat you as such. You've accepted that person's values. You've accepted that person's way of life. And what you're doing is you're saying that person is toxic because he's not falling into your lifestyle. He's not falling into your ways, but you've seen patterns and traits, and you could have taken accountability and said, I want to step out of here. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And that's the way I look at it. I don't know. I don't know what's your point
I
of
would
view.
say how I would define a toxic relationship, or what creates a toxic relationship. Of course, there's certain aspects that you need for a healthy relationship, foundations of a healthy relationship. And then there's aspects that creates toxicity within a relationship. I believe that what causes toxicity in a relationship is lack of understanding and unrealistic expectations, where you expect somebody to behave in a way that you want them to behave. You try either to change someone, or you enforce your belief system upon that person, and not accept that that person is an individual, as you are an individual. You have different backgrounds, and you're coming together, and you need to learn to understand each other. So definitely lack of understanding. And also, in the same breath, when it comes to unrealistic expectations, is the need to be in control, that the need for power in the relationship. So I wouldn't say that it's toxicity within a relationship, but it is toxicity within an individual.
This is maybe answered. Byron McDonald, sy speel amper so my ma is nie 'n meisiekind. Jokes aside, she puts it out like this is my mother, man. That's my mother. Don't even call me Byron McDonald. I don't have a second name, to be frank. My ma
Isn't that a tagged name, Byron? That is your... She tagged Byron McDonald. She didn't go spell it out fully.
Ek maak 'n joke, Jana. Like ek ook 'n bietjie grappe maak. Anyway, but here's the thing. She said, and you must get and listen to this quickly. She said, Byron McDonald, some people are just ka and ka. Anyway, and end up using the Bible or religion or whatever other religion to justify their actions.
Okay.
Ek ken so 'n fool. She is spot on. This is my opinion. I'm just not just agreeing with her. And look, I'm a God-loving person, but I've seen many people justify their actions because they say, yes, this comes out of the Bible. You must see, we spoke about it earlier. We spoke about certain words, promise, hate, everything. Yes, there's definitions on those words. But when you read a book, a Bible, Quran, whatever it is, everybody reads the context differently. This is how I understand it. How you meditate on something, how you read a book or how you read something is different than what her brain might conceptualize it and read it and understand it. And there's another key word for today: understanding and acceptance. That's two words I want you to take in carefully in today from me, Dr. Byron, psychologist Byron today. Anyway, that key word, understanding and acceptance. You need to understand that she, Lethea McCann, Lethea loves me McCann, soon to be McDonald, understands something different than what I do. When she opens that book, reads it from cover to cover, although she lives with Lisi, reads it from cover to cover, do understand it different than what I do. And when I read something, I understand it different than what she does. It's hardly ever where people understand something the same way. And there, I'm going to sound repetitive, where you have to understand each other in the end of the day. This is why many relationships fail. And yes, you have a good thing there, but communication is part of the process. This is just my answer on that one. Communication is part of the process. En ek gaan dit net daar los, die Gatsby is toxic vir ons al toe gewees vir ons liggaam. And we have to decide, ek het al gesê, liewe ek nog vanaand, I don't know, but it was there, it's in the tummy now. But jokes aside, but in Lethea, on that opinion where Helga, laat ek in via uitgooi, waar is Helga se comment nou?
As a communication?
No, this one.
Okay.
What's your point of view on that? Because a lot of people will feel disheartened or they will feel sore about it, that you're speaking about Bible pushers, they will call them as such, or people that force their beliefs on other people. What's your explanation behind this one? So how would
I
you
think
see this?
in a relationship, when people come together, it all depends on what, as you just said, what your value system is in that relationship. What do you define as important? What is your foundation of your relationship? Some people say that God, the Almighty, Allah is their foundation. That is where they build their value systems from. So, I mean, you're a Christian. I've embraced Islam, and we believe in in the higher power. I need to respect your belief as much as you need to respect mine. So when it comes to people wanting to use the religion or wanting to use the Bible in a way to manipulate their partner, that is where you as an individual need to decide what your value system is, and does this make sense to you? Is it something that you agree with? I mean, at the end of the day, it all depends what your value system is and how and what out of whatever religion you are in do you feel you're going to apply within your marriage or within your relationship. I feel at the end of the day, we all need to take responsibility for the part that we play, for what we accept in a relationship. And here's the thing, we are so quick to say that the next person is toxic. We are so quick to point the finger and to not take accountability for what we accept and the type of treatment we accept. And this is something actually that I mentioned earlier to your sister when she said that people make it seem as if 90% of all men are trash. And I said to her, I don't believe that all men are trash because I got a good one.
So sê maar net nou so, want ek sit langs nou.
No. However, I feel that women need to start taking accountability for the men they attract in their life.
Say it again.
Women, start taking accountability for the men that you attract in your life.
Oh, I love that.
Stop blaming the man, because there are good men out there, just as there are good women. You decide who you want to accept, what you want to accept, and who you want to love.
Ooh.
You need to start taking accountability for every single choice you make, for the person that you choose to have in your life. And again, and I will repeat this, for what you accept.
Maar say to men also, you can say to men also.
Women and men, I said everybody, women and men, take accountability for what you accept and the type of treatment you accept from the next person. You can decide what who you're going to surround yourself with. If somebody is not treating you the way you want to be treated, it is within your control to make it clear to the person, look here, these are my boundaries. And that's where it comes in respect. But respect starts with yourself. If you cannot respect yourself, the next person cannot respect you. The next person will treat you the way you're treating yourself. So if you're not treating yourself with the kindness that you deserve, with the love that you deserve, with the respect that you deserve, unfortunately, the next person is going to mirror what you are doing for yourself.
Love that. Hey, Naka, Malena. Sy is weer uit op die byt. Anyway, this actually connects with the next thing that we want to say. And Sharon also said something here. Yes, it can be if both people can work together to get rid of toxic. Now, here comes my next step. Do again go back to the question. Can a toxic relationship go to a healthy relationship? I'm going to put a frank no on it. And Ask me later in the show why I say no. Because I'm going to get to that point. Why I say it can't. Julle kan in 'n relationship wees, julle kan comfortable wees, julle kan alles wees weer. But I'm gonna put the Frank nou en dit gaan baie mense seer maak wat miskien saam met hy cheater weer terug is of saam met hy is. And trust me, I have people that I love very close in my life that's still with people that's toxic and they love each other to the world. They are happy to themselves. They are maybe comfortable where they are. But remember the words I said earlier, acceptance and understanding. And here's another one I want to add into compromise. Ooh, you don't even know how strong that word is and how hurtful and how much changes it does in your life. Compromise.
Compromise and acceptance goes hand in hand.
But this is the thing. What are you willing to compromise? Acceptance is one thing. Acceptance, you can still make a choice to accept that I accept you're a cheater, but ek gaan nie hier bly nie. Ek gaan
Of
unmove.
course.
Compromise is like, I'm willing to give up this to be with you.
I'm
although
willing to accept and I'm willing to stay.
Exactly. So it goes to an end, and then that understanding part. I have to understand this is this person's life, you know. But here comes the other part that I wanted to say. Maybe speak to ladies, maybe more. I want to speak to ladies. You know, when they say there's plenty of fish in the sea, and men say all these things. I was using this analogy to earlier. My darling, you are the bait. Stop making like men think that you are the fish in the sea. You see, this is a mental shift you need to start having. It causes an inferior complex and all these things. And this is what Lathea said so perfectly. You need to start taking accountability for the choices you make, the relationship you step in, the acceptance that you take, the compromise you've made. You need to take accountability for her word, that keyword she used today. That's accountability. You need to take accountability for it. So here comes the thing. If you're going to go and fish, you know, in this side of the world, verkoopel net snoek. And I kan ze snoek vang. This side of the world, there's a lot of sharks, so you don't want to fish there. But if you want to go for the shark, you need to go with a bigger boat. And you know it's going to be harder to control. But wanneer hy vleis eet, is dit mos nou meer dierder en is beter and it lasts longer. Now, it sounds like an analogy that you can't use in life. You need to understand what you put out. And Lathea said to me earlier that. And we came to that conclusion, I would like to believe. What you put out is what you attract. You know? What you surround yourself with is what you attract. And then it goes back to the words of compromise, understanding, acceptance. You've attracted Ms. Kate Cheater. You've seen people he showed you, I quote where she said, you knew what he showed you who he's like, but you thought I can change him because hy lyk miskien mooi, hy's 'n oulike lady, or I can change him, he's rich. You won't be a cheater if he's with me. I'm the one that can change him. But you are depressing that person because you're changing someone's settled lifestyle. Yes, they need to grow and understand and learn things and accept things that they start liking in life and what they don't like. But remember when someone takes your lollipop away and say, "Oh, van lollipop eat," and tell you now you can't have that lollipop anymore. It sounds like a stupid analogy, but remember, it was your lifestyle. Sy het gehou van lollipop eat. Now, because everybody is saying it's not good for you, it's not going to work for you because it does not work for them. Now they come back to you and hit it on you. You become depressed. This is what happens when you stay in a toxic relationship. You start changing your lifestyle for your partner. And your partner's like, oh, ek het nou 'n goeie man. Hy gaan nie meer jole toe nie. He doesn't hang out with his friends much anymore. No, you have a man that adjusted and compromised and accepted, maybe not even understand. That's the key element. Because he feels he needs to accept. He's been in this relationship. Sy is nie meer happy nie. So he's sacrificing, and that's a big thing. His happiness to make you happy in the end of the day. And what does that happen? Die man begin nou miskof raak in die huis. The man start becoming rude, or he just sits back there. Julle twee gives a rude word to one another time and time again. It's accepting because it's now your lifestyle. Oh, that's how marriage should look. Couples fight and bicker at each other. Bullcrap.
Becomes your norm.
It becomes your norm. It should not become your norm. Toxicity and bickering at each other, it should not become your norm because you're accepting it. You think it's healthy for you. You're changing, you're compressing, you're putting yourself in a box and you're thinking this is just me being the bigger person. No, my darling. You've accepted something that can suppress your immune system, suppress your happiness and everything around you. But now it looks good to you because you've got a stable relationship. You've got stuff that you wanted, but one or another always suffers in some way.
And I think when it comes to a toxic relationship or an unhealthy relationship, in many cases, people choose to stay in it because it is comfortable. As you said, it becomes the norm. It becomes something that they are used to. So they don't want they don't want to leave the relationship because they don't know what is waiting out there for them. So
Exactly.
they say, the old saying, rather the devil you know than the devil you don't. I believe those are people that fear the unknown and want to remain in their comfort zone and don't want to put themselves out there and take the risk to make the change in order to be happier. So they will rather sit in their misery, sit in that toxicity, sit in that unhappiness because they don't have the courage to go out and try to seek happiness, and to get and to move on from that toxic relationship, or even to put in the work, because in order to change a toxic relationship, it takes a lot of work and it takes two people. And both people need to be willing to compromise, to understand, and to accept, and to start respecting, to move forward. So in most cases, there's always going to be a power play where the one person feels, well, I am more resourceful in this relationship. You need me, so I don't have to change. So now there's going to be the next person that always feels that they have to compromise more, to accept more, in order to because there's a constant breaking down within the relationship, and they stay in it because it's comfortable. But let's just go through some of the comments.
I wanted to ask Nicole to comment on this and elaborate. You said, since when is toxicity a flex? I'm sorry, but that's a deal breaker for me. I want someone to define toxicity to me, because toxicity, remember, it's something to meet. This is how I understand toxicity.
Okay.
It's something I'm not willing to accept. I feel that don't work in my lifestyle, because remember, anything can be toxic if it doesn't suit you. That's how I see toxicity. Because remember, here's now a guy that maybe loves porn. Let's put it like this. His partner is willing to accept, right? Now she goes into a churchly group or something. And remember, values change from toxicity and lifestyle. We spoke about this earlier. Now she goes into a friends group that tells her, your man watch porn. Hy's lief vir jou nie. Hy kyk porn. Ander vroumense dop hou. He's watching other women on porn and stuff like that. Remember, in the beginning you accepted it.
So
now it does not suit your lifestyle anymore, or does not fit into your lifestyle. Now what do? You come back to that same man. His pleasure, it can be addiction, whatever you want to call it, people would say, because everyone of us believe what is right or wrong. Now you go back to that man and you change his lifestyle. Remember, you are the one now so-called toxic, but you think you are cutting out toxicity because it's not suiting your lifestyle. So remember, two play a part in that game, because going back to the keywords I said in the beginning, acceptance and understand. Because you accepted it in the beginning, but you go back to what your lifestyle is now. Now you want to change what you've accepted. And how is he supposed to understand that now? How is he supposed to? Now he's going to compromise because he's already in love with you, And now you're suppressing him, making him unhappy. Now, such a relationship in a month, said, he's so toxic, he doesn't want to go out. He's not fun. He doesn't want to play with me, games or anything. But the thing is, you've changed a part of his happiness. When he was watching porn, baby, we must try this style. It might have been toxic for them, man het addicted geraak aan him. It might have been a balance for him. Not saying I'm not condoning these things, but it was part of his lifestyle that made you happy together. Do you understand? So this is the thing that we need to understand in the end of the day. We make each other toxic. This is where the word comes toxic, because we don't accept each other in each other's lifestyle. And I go back to it again. There's no toxic relationship, and I'm going to stand on it, and I'm going to answer again at the end. Remember, acceptance, understanding, and accountability. There's no relationship that can go from toxic to healthy, because it can only go from toxic to accepting and compromising and saying, I'm willing to accept my life like this.
Okay, so why do you feel that a toxic relationship cannot become healthy?
I just said it now. If you really listen, listen. For me, it's not healthy because, first of all, your man cheated on you. Let's use one toxic trait.
Okay.
That's a toxic thing, right? Your man's abusive. Ons gooi nog 'n ding aan. That's a toxic trait. Or your man doesn't like going to church. For jou sien hy is toxic. When julle twee is mos nou, hy's 'n atheist and he's a cake loving person, but you knew that, you accepted that in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? Now imagine, here, you are all of a sudden, you knew this was this man, you saw the patterns and everything, but you want to change him now. But you knew when you change him, he might change to become comfortable, to compromise for you in the end of the day. But what's going to happen? You took away part of who he is. It may be benefit for his growth, but you will never forget what he's done. So for instance, you took not just away the cheating. Yes, the cheating is wrong, but maybe it was the circumstances that he cheated in because he's not strong enough, not grown enough. Now he went to a nightclub, he went to hang with the boys' night. Now he hangs out more at home because he's fearful. He sits at home. I'm not going to go out because I might cheat when I go out. Ek gaan hier by my vrou sit. Sy sit nou met 'n depressed man. Wat is sy vir 'n sien nie? He's not seeing his friends. He's depressed. He takes out his depression out on you. But he's comfortable. He rather accept this life because he's scared. It became a fearful and a power shift relationship of losing you. Or the man of losing her. So this is where insecurities arise and it will always flare up. Always during the relationship. But you think it's healthy because you are together for long. Now you have kids together. You say, we're doing it for the kids. We're doing it for us. But you forget about your health. I know people that's married for 70 years, 60 years, 40 years, saying, do you know what? If I only knew that I could do this or do that, they're never happy, but everybody sees them as the most happiest couple, and you dream about having that relationship. You look at their understanding. It must have been communication. No, it was the strongest thing ever. Acceptance and having to take it in, but you also have to take accountability. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't take accountability, and we need to face the facts with that. We rather than see if something steps on the line and that pattern arises. What if the guy cheats again? You've accepted it, remember? And now he's put in that position again, unfortunately. Now you want to throw your toys at the cot, but you knew. But you're always going to live on fear. And that's another thing, because you never will forget what happened in your relationship. So you need to understand it can work, yes. It can be a good relationship, but it'll never be a healthy one because it will always be in the mind.
I don't necessarily fully agree. I mean, I know people that has gone through infidelity in the relationship, and that infidelity actually made the relationship stronger because they were able to understand why it happened. And it, of course, when it comes to infidelity or even any mistrust in any way, and here's the thing, people think that the trust is broken only through infidelity. Trust can be broken through financial, lying to your partner about finance, lying to your partner about where you are, etc. So it can even be the small things that causes mistrust over time in a relationship. But I believe that everything is capable of change and growth. So if you're in a relationship and you as a person are growing and your partner is growing and you both are growing together and you're making a decision, because we are all human and we are all capable of making mistakes in a relationship. No relationship is perfect. And I feel that when you do make those mistakes, it's fair enough, we're human. But if you're coming to your partner and you're being honest and open and saying, look, this is a mistake I made and I want to make it work and I'll do everything in my power to gain your trust again, it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take work from your partner as well. But if you are willing to work together and accept the process, understand the process, be patient with each other, I believe that you can then come out stronger because you've gone through the worst, but yet you are willing to stay together even through that time to make it work. And then that relationship can even be much a healthier relationship than what you had before.
Exactly.
Because you know what you were faced with and how you've come to understand to work through it.
I get what you're saying. And just something I may be popping Nicole's one up a lot now. I kind of agree with what Nicole's saying. I don't know what you say. Also, a relationship should never be a compromise, in my opinion. Meditate on what you see. We read that context maybe differently. The way you said, you see, because everybody believes you compromise in a relationship, you give up certain things, but you hit the nail on the head for me a little bit. And unfortunately, relationships is about compromising, because that's what a lot of relationships do. Unfortunately, we're in that lifestyle today. We compromise certain things because there's a lot of variables in place. But it should not be. Yes, it should not be. But unfortunately, it is in the life we're living. Because as soon as you step in that relationship, it should be blanket. Life changes every day. I change every day. My moods can change every day. And you need to understand to accept that. So it's not about compromising, but it's about understanding each other and saying, these are my values and my moods, and I'm going to be frank with you every day of how I am. We need to be on the same page of how I'm feeling today. But it does not happen, unfortunately. So just listen first. We can see that wake up, yo. I can see you want to get it out there. Now, and this is why I say I want to agree a little bit with Nico on this one, that now the compromising stage started, because we can't be transparent with each other. There, she just popped it up. What I wanted to get to was compromise versus respect. Rather use that respect with that acceptance. Rather use that respect than compromise. That's what I will say. It should not be compromise, but respecting each other. Love that, Nicole. Love that. I don't know if that's what your point was. I know it's a question mark, but I would rather say respect over compromise using those words. So how do you feel?
I feel that every relationship, for me, of course, for everybody it's different, but I believe that there are compromises that you will make for the sake of the relationship, for the success of the relationship. Because if you don't want to compromise, then just be on your own, because it's two people with their own value system, with their own way of thinking, with their own thought processes coming together, and there's going to be a give and take. And sometimes you will have to be submissive or be the one to accept certain things that you might not necessarily want to, but you're doing it for the sake of the relationship. Of course, not things that are going to affect your value system, but everything is a compromise. Even when in a relationship with your father or your mother, sometimes your father, your parents might be a certain way, and you, at the end of the day, jy gaan maar klein speel. I need to respect him. So I'm going to compromise my ego in order to have this relationship with my father or with my mother, because I'm understanding from what emotional point they are coming from and what mental space they are coming from. And because they are a bit, they were raised in a different generation. Now, the same thing with your partner. You need to understand your partner's background, why they're having a certain emotional outburst, where it's coming from, where the trauma is coming from. And then, of course, by evaluating all of that, at some point, you then learn to compromise your sometimes not your beliefs, but your ego, your pride for the relationship. So yes, I believe it is a compromise, and through respecting each other, there is also a sense of compromise in that.
Please hit that like and share button, because you need to give perspective on what this woman is giving tonight to you, but give perspective also on what you believe it should happen in that side. But Jason Meyer comes out and he's out. Nicole must be single. Ooh, you maak sy moeilikheid vir yourself. Oh, Husbandberg is not rocking a world at the moment. Nicole klap hom aan die section en hy is ook getroud. Steek sy vrou in, kry vir hom. I don't know. I'm joking around. That's toxic, Jason. No pun intended. But jokes aside, I know it comes from a jokey side of life. So let's just go through a couple of comments here if we can. If we haven't covered the comments on the side. So it starts here.
So Helga says, Yana, then the fool goes as far as quoting in the first person as if they are the Almighty, but that is another
and
topic.
She goes on, we read that one, so she goes on also.
Lethea McCann, 100% at first is founded harsh when I heard someone say that no person is the victim to abuse. You chose to be treated that way. Whether you had a KAK upbringing or stuck in a circle, as adults, we have a choice.
And then Crystal goes on.
That's so true, Lethea. It's your choice at the end of the day, and be careful what you tolerate.
Maybe we haven't read that.
Crystal says, you can never change anyone. They will change only if they want to. Some of them don't even think what they're doing is wrong.
Woo! That's also another thing. That's another thing. Also, toxic people or whatever you want to call them, or people that can't understand each other. They maybe not even toxic. It's just how they live. It's just their way of life. Let's maybe twist to that side also. Again, share out so I can get some people's opinions on here. So Lethea can challenge for that toxicity as a belief.
So Crystal says, and change can only happen if the person realizes what they're doing is wrong. And most men don't think there is anything wrong with cheating.
And true. Most men, as al weer die arme manne, most females also, most women, most ladies.
Yeah, people. There are many people that don't see anything wrong with cheating.
Oscar, yes, one thing. We were laying in bed and she was reading something out and she said, and she actually got a little bit pissed off at me also. Be honest. So she said, "Still, Byron, this is a beautiful read." What was it now again about?
That women are the portal of the spirit and the physical world, or something like that. Woman is the portal that brings in spirit.
Spirits from the spiritual world into the physical
world. Yes.
So I said to her, she's like, "Oh wow, that's such a beautiful message and stuff like that." So I said to her, "Lethea, that causes segregation between women and men. There's where the problem lies." She's like, "What do you mean? It's just a beautiful women message to empower women." Do you see? You read into that message now. Now I go back to, remember when they said a woman is made from a man's rib? I imagine that. I also don't like that saying. Although some people say, but it comes out of the Bible and the Quran. It comes out of misogynistic men that wrote it also, man. And I'm a God lover. And I gaan opstaan. Now, I put this into her head and she was still going on to me, but Baden must stand. It's beautiful. It's empowering. I said, it causes, wait, ek weet of haar antwoord. Sy is altyd op die petjie. That's a toxic trait. Anyway, so this is the thing. When I say to why it causes segregation, any messages out like that causes men are trash and women are beautiful creatures and men don't look after women. And we are segregating just like what people of color, people of religion are doing each and every day. This is why the world can't connect, because I'm only speaking about two genders now. And julle kan maar classify me nie ander 100, but I can only relate now with my understanding of the two genders. So with those two genders, it needs to have equality in the way of love. And get what I'm trying to say? Stop trying to make the other one more inferior and the other one more superior to find a power battle. This is how the toxicity starts. It starts in the society and it creeps into relationships. Now, a woman comes into my relationship, I'm forced to know I'm a protector. She now comes in, I bring kids into this world. It comes from the spiritual realm and blah, 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 blah. All the nonsense and goede. No, sê die man, yeah, but I'm the one who carries the kids around. So then I'm also bringing the kids from the spiritual world. God has given me this power. But now, I'm sounding like I'm joking, but get into your mind what we are doing to one another. Hit that like and share button. Get into your mind what you are doing to each other in the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So you need to grasp. And she knows I'm a big one on this. I have a daughter and a son. I need to find the balance. My son also needs to go into a world to understand that you are not trash. My daughter needs to go into a world to understand that she's not inferior to anyone. But she also needs to understand that the man is not trash. And he needs to understand that the woman's not inferior. But if we keep on creating messages like that, it creeps into our physical relationships when we become one with the opposite sex. Or one with our parents or whatever it is. Now sending my pa net as you taken. And now my father doesn't provide and my mother is the breadwinner. I say, my pa is a lackluster, he's a nix. Because it's the understanding that he must be a provider. And now you're making the man inferior and making him lesser. Or my mother is not such a good cook or a good cleaner or a good provider. Sy is nie 'n goeie vrou nie. We putting stuff out like that there. Stop it from my mindset. This is my opinion. En ek weet dat brand daar, sy het nie geluister na my nie, want sy brand, another toxic trait, sy brand om te sê al voor sy hoor.
No. I was listening. And I understand where you're coming from, but I also do believe that we need to embrace each other's differences. We are human, but I'm a woman, you a man, we were created differently. And I embrace the gift that God has given you. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge and embrace the gift that God has given us as women individually. I mean, if you feel that it's making you feel inferior, that's a situation or an issue you need to deal with within your own mind. Not that I shouldn't come here and make you feel secure within yourself, because God has given a woman the gift to bear children and to bring children into this world. Yes, you carry sperm and I carry an egg, but it takes the sperm and the egg cell to fertilize in order for life to then be conceptualized or to be conceived. So your sperm is nothing without my egg, but at the same time, a woman is the carrier of that life.
But again, are you
which is her blessing. It is a blessing.
So what's
it is
the
a
man's
gift,
blessing?
and I feel that it needs to be embraced. It's not that we're taking anything away from you and your gift as a man, but embrace the gift that the woman has been given.
No, but I
never
said don't embrace the gift.
But that is...
You said you were going into the right direction for me in the beginning. You said, but look where you lost yourself.
We are going off topic now.
No, this is the toxicity. This is where our toxicity starts. With people like us that put our point of views out there and you take it home to your person also. Okay. This is the strong, important message I'm trying to spread. So she was on track and said, my verloor. When she said, a woman needs a man's spur. No, she said, a woman, a man has sperm, yes, but he needs a woman to carry. But not
Now, I said a man has sperm, a woman has an egg. Of course, it doesn't mean anything if they are not fertilized.
Exactly.
Once they are
So
fertilized,
here's the message that
it
needs to
needs
start
a
spreading.
carrier. It needs someone to carry. You can't carry you can't bear children. So
But here's the message that must be spread in the world. We need each other.
okay,
We need each other
Yes, we
to
do.
create
life.
life. But again, I go back to the saying, woman was made on man's rib. I don't like that, because it's almost like you are my piggyback and I created you. God created me. You are lesser than me. I don't like that. Wait, I'm also not saying women should not empower themselves. Maybe I would have phrased it like this. Wow, it's beautiful that a woman can carry something from the spiritual world that she connected with a man, and they created something. I would have said like that, and she can still carry that power into this life. Maybe not in that wording, but always use connection with each other to create unity. The same when it comes to black and white, Muslim and Christians, or whatever you want to do it. It's always, I watch something from a Muslim guy. This is why I won't follow Christianity, because this is what's in the Bible. Then I see some other people saying, this is why you should follow this. And then I see why women say, I know why men are trash. They always cheat because their hormones is always like this. Not all men are trash. Not all women are victims in this life. But yet, because of messages like what messages we spread like that, we create victims. We create trash. And then the poor men and women, like I believe you're not a victim. This is why you're speaking out strongly, because you want to uplift women and you're coming with good intentions. But unfortunately, the message that person accepts is not the way you accept it. You saw it as a beautiful message. It's something beautiful. But when you translate a message out there, it needs to be a unity message and maybe a universal understanding. And that's what I try to do in my daily life. Not that you're wrong on what you're saying. It's beautiful. A woman, that's the most beautiful thing. But when someone else, and I go back, understand that context, the way I understand it might be totally different, and it can cause segregation.
Okay, I got you there. So let's just go to the comments.
Okay. Anyway, where are we now? Jason het alweer moeilijk gemaakt, Jonna.
So we read that one out, and then Crystal says, that's so true, Biden. If you see the red flag, run. They will never change because that is the normal. They're normal.
Ooh, it's getting juicy. I love it. And and I love this one. She said, it's compromise when lack of communication. And Helga said it earlier there also, and that's so true also. So Nicole says to Jason, Jason zei, no need to defend myself, Jason. Lekker. Hy is so 'n vrou wie op jou plek sit.
Exactly.
Lekker. Without getting defensive. That's there. I as a man can say,
Love
sterk
it.
vrou, not a victim, very strong, and she's sure about herself. Woman, that's what you do. She didn't go, yeah, you're a man now. You think I need a burg in my life. Now you see some other woman who would have answered it differently, but she's not a victim. You get what I'm saying? And that is where growth and perspective and understanding, I go back to the beginning, comes in. And okay, play nicely now. We do. You know what? I must tell them, sometimes when we sit with couple friends or friends and we start debating, then I think we're arguing.
Yeah,
and,
they feel uncomfortable
they
because
feel-
we're going at it.
they feel really uncomfortable. But this is how we get to understand each other. This is our lifestyle. This is how we fell in love, I would say.
Yeah.
We sat, we had chats all night, and we sometimes hardly agreed, cried about certain things in our life. We connected on a deeper level. And this is where I think it's a healthy relationship. This is what causes. I've been married, she's been engaged, I've been in relationships, she's been in relationships. Our past relationship before this is not where we only learned. There's ones before that, there's a relationships with our parents that we've
Yep.
learned. So niemand voor ons is regtig hy specially. Ek gaan dit so sit, because they're only part of our learning, just as we were for them.
Journey, yeah.
Our journey, just as we were with them. So, but yes, die soe gaan miskien pas vir som van hulle, but it does not work that way. So every day I try to remind myself to understand people, to accept what I want to understand, because I also need to think of my health, my conscious happiness, and stuff like that. This is why I see so many people in the world going depressed, sitting in depression, because they first, like Lathia said, we were sitting in a car and having a chat to say, yeah, no, can I see a deal for the show? Can't we keep this for the show and chat on the show about it? Now you're talking everything out. When you come to the show, we don't know what to talk about because we're not people to be repetitive of what we talk.
Yeah.
So she said something like, yeah, I can't remember now. It's something just, it got me, where you have to understand each other. Flip man, you have to understand each other, but that was a button. So it was on the butts, alles weg. It wipes everything away what you just said, but I want to let you know what I'm saying. But we also have to know that we need to look after our health and understand ourselves first. So she said strongly, that's where it starts internally first. But the reason why the world is so full of people jumping on top of each other, hurting each other, because they lost themselves,
Exactly.
their pathway, their way of life, and what they love in life.
100%. So, Byron, we have come to the end of
No,
the
we
show.
haven't. There's still a few minutes. I hope licht. Ze wil alweer my onder die bus gooi. She likes throwing me under the bus. I hope you.
So let's actually, before we end the show, what do you feel are my toxic traits
Joch.
that I need to work on
Joch.
in this relationship?
Do you think I must answer this on air?
Ek worry nie, I'm an open book.
Vanaand
I
word
have
ek
nothing to hide.
Do you think I must do it on air? Word ek geklap vanaand in die kooi en ek weet ookie?
Hello, we never know how argue after the show.
I know, man, I'm joking. So, Lathia, your toxic traits. You're very defensive. You're very
Yeah.
defensive, and that is a toxic and healthy trait because it can help you. But maybe I'll twist the words where you're defensive, but you stand up for yourself when it needs to be. And that's where defense can be good also. So you draw boundaries. Something I lack sometimes because I am not weaker, but I have more of a leeway to give to people, and I understand that to myself. So your defensive-ness is your biggest toxic trait. Ek gaan nou nie anders gooi nie, want vanaand gaan sy seker aan my gesels en then you go,
No, I know that. That's an old that's some, but I don't think I'm that bad anymore. I think I've simmered down a lot. I've learned to understand where it comes from and evaluate myself in the moment that I do it, and then I take a step back. I can say that though. So I'm quite aware of that. And like you said, yes, I'm very vocal, but I do also stand up for what I believe and stand up for myself. So it might come across as being defensive. However, it is just me voicing my
that was
opinion.
defensive. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys make it aware that was defensive. There was no acceptance. She just defended herself. She just used a toxic trait while I said to her, what is a toxic trait? Did you just see that live on air? Anyway, what's my toxic trait?
Your toxic trait. I would say
Yes, because mooi sy hakka so. Sy sukkel.
your ego.
Okay,
For
yeah.
me, your ego. Sometimes I have a really big ego, and you can manipulate the situation very, very quickly.
Of course,
which is,
yeah.
of course, when it comes to a relationship, I can identify it because I've had a lot of manipulators within my life. So I'm like, listen, yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to do. So then that kind of affects the relationship. But I understand where it's coming from because I know that when you do it in the outside world, it works. You know, when it comes to your job, when it comes to moving forward, to growth financially and all that things, you are very good at. I wouldn't necessarily say manipulation, but letting people understand your point of view.
Oh, love that. No, that's my baby. But anyway, Lathia, now we've come to the end of the show. Is there anything you want to let people know? You know, you're having a baby. I don't know.
You know, I just wanna send a message of gratitude and appreciation. You know, we've as a couple and you and just, you know, being with you through your journey. I just want everybody to remember and to understand what a beauty this life is. And I think this is something that I said to you on our way home, and I said, you know, it's so easy to get trapped in the idea that success or happiness lies at the end of financial success or material success, and it's so easy to get trapped into that way of thinking by trying to chase this worldly, what this world has to offer. And sometimes people look at others and they question, how can these people be happy? You know, I don't understand. They financially, they're not where I am, maybe, or what I have, but yet I'm not happy and they happy. I can't understand. But that's the thing. Happiness is not about financial success. It's about fulfilling yourself. Happiness is different. Is different for different people. For me, happiness can just be the experience of love, having support systems around me, and just being able to experience an intimate, healthy form of love. For me, that's happiness. And for other people, I'm not saying that you cannot be happy through financial success. Just based on what I've seen, following people that are financially extremely successful, and they end up, committing suicide. Why? Because you cannot gain sustenance from anything within this world
Whew, that was powerful.
unless it is through people or your creator.
Wow. Did you see? Yes, you cannot. I want you to say that again. You cannot gain. Ek kan nie sy woord sê nie, is te groot vir my vocabulary.
Sustenance
Yeah.
from material things within this
Oh,
world.
wow. That is so beautiful. You need to understand everything that needs to be healed externally starts internally. And those things in this world are tools.
It's tools, yes.
It can create a dopamine like sex, where it makes you happy for
But
that
it's-
moment.
Yeah.
And then you need more rush, more like a drug. But she's right. And we're not saying don't achieve those things, because you need to, so people can respect you in this life. Because unfortunately, that's how they are living in this life. We need to understand society looks at you. If you don't have money, ek gaan hulle nie luister na jou nie. Jy kan luister baie die mense nie na my wisdom nie, want ek het niks geld nie.
Nee, jy was nou kanker.
Wat se my vraag.
You either have to have a terminal illness or you have to have money. One of the two.
Ja, maar hulle luister nog altyd na my nie, want ek is so arm. Anyway, but here's the
Maar jy het 'n
thing.
mooi vrou hier langs jou.
Ja, sê, ek het vir jou getrap, ek het vir jou gewys 'n groot huis en alles, en toe was daar 'n mirage.
I knew exactly your background, so don't you worry. I knew what I was getting myself into. I take accountability for the choice I make.
She just knew let's end the show with the topic. She knew I'm a toxic kisser. Anyway, guys, please like and share. And please tag Moerskoolum people into it, asseblief, because we need to start challenging these topics and creating awareness. And we also love what we do. And ons gaan nou beginne, and I'm putting it out there. We need to monetize to grow this thing also. And we're putting it out there. So we would love your support to like and share. And I know it's a difficult thing to ask. So love you guys. So Lathia said, Nicole said, Lathia had Stockholm syndrome. I'm joking, man. So she said, in my case, I have Stockholm syndrome. Anyway, you don't laugh. Do you know what Stockholm syndrome is? Yo, so you don't even know what it is, but laugh for it. I want to leave it there so you can go to Google later.
I'm laughing because I don't fucking know. So what am I supposed to say?
You're gonna go Google it, laat ek kan leer. Anyway, you guys have a... Ek dink nou kan lag die vrou.
What was I then supposed to say?
Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And please, we love you and good night. Catch this on DSTV 263 tomorrow evening. Your messages will be popping up there.
9 p.m. So do go ahead and look at your comments, check them out. And please like and share this video, like and share our page so that we can create more amazing content for the future. We love you. Have a beautiful evening and good night.